Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to today's video. This is Shanmuraj. Today I'm continuing my PMBOK series videos on models, methods, and artifacts, which is the fourth major section in the PMBOK 7. We already discussed commonly used models and methods, and we are in the progress of discussing the commonly used artifacts. Artifacts are nothing but your outputs or deliverables, right, which can be tailored based on the project performance domains. Today we're going to discuss on different types of hierarchy charts and baselines, right? Earlier we discussed strategy artifacts, logs, right, plans, right? We discussed about project charter, we discussed about risk logs, we discussed about project management plan, etc. Right? So let's get into today's video on hierarchy charts and baseline. Let's start with hierarchy charts. What is a hierarchy chart? What does it represent? It represents high level information that is progressively decomposed into greater levels of details. Right? There will be a hierarchy. You might know how the organization works. There may be a chairman, CXOs are reporting to chairman, and right. And every CXO has vice presidents and presidents, right? So generally hierarchy charts are often progressively elaborated into a greater level of details as more information you get to know about the project. So upper level information encompasses all the information of subsidiary or lower levels, right? So there are five types of hierarchy charts. PMP PMBOK 7 talks about it. The first one is organizational breakdown structure. It is represented as the project organization, right? It talks about the project organization. It does not talk about overall organization, right? The overall organization chart might have a board, chairman, CEOs, etc., right? The project organization will talk about only the project sponsors, project managers, and team members, etc., right? And the stakeholders maximum, right? So it illustrates that in the relationship between the project activities and units that perform those activities. As simple as that, right? What are different units involved in it? What are the activities those units going to do that? Right? The project organization may be, culmination of or cross-functional efforts from the different teams, right? Possibly. The second one is the product backlog structure, which is reflecting a product components and deliverables. It is a decomposed components and its deliverables. Right? This is an example of project organization. A project manager, they are, system integration team is there, design team is there, engineering team is there, construction team and safety team. So everybody has team members to it. So that's how the project is being organized for this project. This is the example of product breakdown structure. So if you are building a gaming computer as a product, it has computer components, monitor, something like news and boards. I don't know what is this. Right? It has different components. It talks about different components and sub-components actually. Right? The third hierarchy chart is a resource breakdown structure. Resources. It talks about resources by category and type. What are the different resources like development, design, and inside the design, what are the different high level design, low level design. So this is who is going to do that. So something that talks about the competency and skill set of different teams. Of course, it might talk about the resource name as well, possibly. The fourth one is a risk breakdown structure. It talks about the hierarchical chart, talks about the potential source of risk. Right. The final one is the work breakdown structure, is very, very critical for a project actually. Right. WBS is a hierarchical decomposition of total scope of work to accomplish the project objectives and the deliverables. So essentially, it will have that WBS along with WBS dictionary actually. right? It might, what are the different features and epics, features and stories, one type of WBS actually. There are multiple ways of you can present WBS. Let's look at some of the examples, right? So this is an example of resource breakdown structure, right? So project resources, materials, people and equipment and how they are organized, project management, marketing, purchasing, technical, right? Engineering, all those things. This is an example of risk breakdown structure, right? You can source the risk on technical, external, organizational and managerial. The final one is the work breakdown structure example, right? So how the works has been organized, right? There is a project office where front end will have this many activities are there, correlator this many activities are there. So you can have a WBS like this, right? Now we are coming to the next topic, which is the baseline. What are the different baselines commonly used in PMBOK 7 or in our project description? This has been explained in PMBOK 7. What is a baseline? The baseline is the approved version of a work product or plan. It can be approved budget or can be approved project schedule, can be approved cost baseline or scope baseline, whatever it is. What is for it is used? It is used for comparing the actual performance to the baseline to identify the variances, right? EVA is the one of the example of comparing the baseline with the actual performance, right? So let's get into the discussion of different types of baselines available for the project manager, right? The first one is a budget. Budget is nothing but our approved cost baseline for your projects and the WBS components or other related activities to it. Right? What is the associated cost with that executing this project? It might include material cost, resource cost, etc., operation cost, etc. The second one is the milestone schedule. This presents the milestone with the planned dates. Essentially, project schedule is a superset of milestone schedule. A project schedule might contain a milestone schedule as well along with that. This particular milestone schedule talks about only the schedule which represents only milestones. Right, we'll talk about high level phases, design, what is it? If you're having different milestones like development, design, testing, and everything, deployment, so you can have the milestone dates for each phases. The third one is the performance measurement baseline, which is an integrated scope, schedule, and cost baselines. Right, is for comparing your project execution while you are managing or monitoring and controlling. Right? So project measurement baseline is the culmination of scope, schedule, and cost baseline. You can think of a balanced scorecard which comprises of all the required aspects of the project success outcomes along with the KPIs, right? So that is an integrated measurement baseline. So this is an example of cost baseline, right? What are the WBS and how many hours, what are the days, and what are the hourly rate, what is the total cost, right? This is one example of, it talks about the total cost, total person hours, and everything. This is an example of milestone plan. All this red color talks about your milestone and dates, right? The fourth and fifth are project schedule and scope baseline. Project schedule is an output of the schedule model that presents linked activities with planned dates, durations, milestones, and resources. So essentially, it will talk about all the activities that included, in WBS, along with the planned date, started and ended, effort required, what is the duration, along with the milestones and the resources utilized. The final one is the scope baseline. The scope baseline is nothing but the approved version of scope statement, WBS, and its associated WBS dictionary. So scope baseline has three components. One is the scope statement, what is the overall scope of the project, and its WOBS, work breakdown structure, and its dictionary. So scope baseline can be changed by using a formal change control board. So scope baseline is used as a basis to compare the actual results. So let us look at the example of schedule baseline and the scope baseline. This is an example of baseline schedule, right? It talks about all the activities, right? It might have some of the milestones as well. It even talks about the dependency between each activities as well. This is a very good example of project baseline, scope baseline template. See, this talks about scope statement. This talks about WBS dictionary and WBS here, right? So all the three components put together, it is called scope baseline, right? So scope is a high level scope. What are the project deliverables? What are the high level scope? It might even talk about out of scope as well, right? But WBS talks about all the relevant activities. WBS dictionary will talk about what are the each activities, what is involved in it. It's about the dictionary of that particular WBS or package or whatever you call that, right? So with that, we have come to a conclusion of this particular video of we discussed about baselines and hierarchy charts, right? So in upcoming videos, I'll cover other artifacts which has been discussed in PMBOK 7. So let me know your feedback on my videos. I would love to listen to your feedback. So please give a comments. I would like to understand that. Yes, I would like to improve on my delivery and my content, etc. So thanks for listening. Take care. Bye bye.